Holy shit! You didn't eat for 80 hours and all your fucking hair fell out. You're gonna fucking die! That's basically an analogy for how our observational studies are and why we shouldn't put as much stock in them as we do. You know, the fact of the matter is I shaved my fucking head. But you see where I'm going with that when it comes to studies and whether or not we should change our entire dietary guidelines based on an observational study, which says because this was fucking happening, that this is happening more too at the same time, so therefore this, and this must be reason, cause, effect shit. I'm sorry. When the fact of the matter is you have to take into account everything that's going on. But that was just a nice quick little tidbit. It has very little to do with the topic of today's motherfucking video, which is going to be shorter than a half hour, hopefully. But I want to discuss why I broke my fast at 80 hours. When I broke my fast, I was down to 184.6 pounds, had 36 inches around my waist. I was pretty much at 25 BMI during it, which is only 0.1 above normal BMI. And then I hung out with my friend. Now, I was not physically hungry. I did get hungry around the 50-something hour mark, if I remember right. True hunger. It was definitely a stomach, ghrelin type hunger and not a craving. It took about an hour and a half or so to pass. But then, when the next day rolled around 73 hours, I wasn't hungry. I wasn't hungry all day. Then I got into my social situation, and my buddy wanted to go to a restaurant, which I often go to now because it has a very ketogenic friendly main dish that I like, which was prime rib with buttered spinach without the crumbs. I make them take the crumbs out. And buttered seasoned asparagus with black coffee at the time I was drinking and water. And a salad with Italian dressing, but the Italian dressing I kept on the side, only poured about half of that on the salad just in case it has added sugar. And, it's an awesome meal that my brain knows that I like a lot, and when I'm around it, it's hard to say no. Now, originally, I was going to try to go to the restaurant with him and just drink my coffee, let him eat his shit. We were even sitting at the bar, which made things easier, and I caved. He's like, "You sure you don't want it? You sure?" And finally, I was like, "You know what? All right." I was 184. 36 inches. I rationalized all of it. It was completely a craving issue and not a hunger issue that broke this fast. I'm a little mad at myself for it because I did want to take it all the way till today probably, or maybe even Tuesday. But in light of the fact that I have this short notice trip that I'm ending up going on, I kind of wanted to get geared up, back on track. So what happens when you break an 80-hour fast and transition back to ketogenic diet and ADF? Do you regain all the weight? At day 1, I was 189.5 pounds, 36.25 inches. Prior to the fast, I took a shit during the fast. I peed a lot during the fast. That was my starting weight. At the tail end of the fast, I got down to, what was it again? 185.8 pounds. All of this is on my personal blog, which you can get if you are a patron on Patreon for $1 a month. I put all my measurement, my weight, and how long I've been fasting, and for that particular weigh in and so on and so forth. Actually, I read the wrong weight. 184.6. That was from like day 3, I think, the weight I just read. So, I put all of that shit up there, and I'm scrolling through it right now to go back to look at my numbers. And I broke the fast, and this morning I weigh 188.1 pounds, 36.25 inches, 14 hours fasted. So all in all, I lost about a pound. Now that I'm fully fed, I'm carrying around some food weight, I'm carrying around water weight. Now, you will regain weight after a long fast no matter what diet you are on. Somewhere between day 4, which I was, I'd passed 72 hours, I was approaching day 4 of the fast. And, anywhere from day 4 to day 6, your metabolism will drop for a little bit. It does this in cycles, it seems. It drops and then ramps up, and then drops and then ramps up, and then longer the fast goes, I do believe the longer those slow metabolism times happen and more frequent they are. And it's why you will regain weight. Now, at the same time, you're also losing 0.7 pounds of fat per day. On average. It might be more if you're morbidly obese. And what happens when that happens is you get a drop in leptin, which you are sensitive to because your insulin will be low. And what that does is that tells your brain that we're losing a lot of energy. We're burning way more energy than we're taking in. We need to do something about this. And at first you get an energy boost to go out and find that energy. You go out and hunt and kill, motherfucker. It's what your brain's telling you. That's why you feel so good during the fast. You feel alert, your mental clarity's up, you're ready to go out, your metabolism is fine, you have the energy that you could go on a run, you could go lifting, you could do all kinds of shit during the first 72 hours. But then your body realizes you suck at finding food, and it can't keep burning the same amount of energy. Much like when you pound the fuckmaster and you don't eat enough calories. Over time, your body will say, look, we can't keep doing this. This is all hormones, backed by science. You can look this shit up in any biochemistry book. Any well-written biochemistry book, I should say. But we'll get into that in another video. So you're going to have weight regain after a long fast. In fact, I would argue that you might only move the needle by a pound or 2 when it's all said and done. And that's really kind of the goal. Now, I would have liked to have gone longer, and I perhaps somewhere in between this trip and the next trip, I might do another long fast. Where I try and take it a little further, maybe keep myself out of social situations so I can fucking exercise a little bit more better willpower and self-control when it comes to foods I love. And, and see kind of where it goes. If you can, you keep moving the needle, inching that needle down with long fasts. Science of long-term fasting has shown that you can. However, most people that are doing long fasts return to a high carbohydrate, high sugar laden diet, which will cause them not only to regain the weight, but to regain more weight. And the reason for that is that particular diet doesn't support a healthy appestat, which will self-regulate your metabolism and food intake. You'll be a lot hungrier after the fast, no matter what diet you're on, but if you're going into the standard American diet or any high-carb diet that contains sugar, you are going to eat way more than you need to be full. And because of that, the weight regain will be drastically increased, not to mention the amount of water retention, rebuilding all your glycogen, the food weight itself. There's going to be a massive weight regain if you're not breaking your fast with a proper ketogenic diet. I'm pretty much have done both now, and I have to say that this is actually not a bad result for me, because there have been previous 5-day fasts, which are longer fasts, where I regained every last ounce and then some. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm currently fasting today. Today's a fast day. I'm back on ADF, 36 on, 36 off. I had a 36-hour eating window, actually less, because I could have ate up till 5:30 in the morning. So my eating window was shorter than 36. It was probably more like a 26, 27-hour eating window. So you're going to regain the weight. It's going to happen. You just got to fucking suck it up and be prepared for it. And if that's going to discourage you, I would say don't do long fasts, because it is a roller coaster ride that you're signing up for. Can you mitigate the weight gain afterwards? Sure, but that, once again, you're fighting your hormones. You're fighting your metabolism. And the more you fight your metabolism, the worse your metabolism will be. It's okay to regain the weight. It's okay if you're doing it properly, because you want your metabolism to go back up. The solution isn't to double down, which is what a lot of people on very low calorie diets and exercise do. They double down to get through plateaus, which just carries their metabolism further down the fucking rabbit hole. No. Refeed. It is vitally important that you let your body and your hormones know that you're putting energy back into your body. And if your appestat is working properly, i.e. you are fat adapted, your metabolism will come back up to normal. Do you get to move the needle? I think that at this stage of the game where I'm at, where I am just now hovering on the bottom end of my weight loss, like literally 5 pounds away from normal BMI and a 1/4 inch around my belly from my goal, I know that at this stage of the game, it's going to be a very slow going process. And if I try and get in a hurry, I try and do a 30-day fast, I'll plow through that bitch and shoot far below the mark so that when I rebound, I get back to the mark, that will kick off that metabolic response. That will kick off the hormones to make me hungrier, to make it so I don't get as full as quickly, which during my eating window, I ate like a beast. You would think that prime rib meal would have been plenty. I mean, it was damn near 1,800 calories probably in total, because prime rib is very fat cut of meat, very nutritious cut of meat, and a very calorie-dense cut of meat. So I should have been disgustingly full. I was mildly full at the end of it. And I did go the rest of the evening because I had an event to go to, another social event. Didn't drink, of course. Still sticking with that. Didn't eat any sugar. I did try later on some Halo Top ice cream, which probably I would argue might have led to a contribution, because there is some sugar content in that. I ate 2 servings of that, so I pretty much was at the upper end of 50 grams by the end of the day that day of carbs. So, that's kind of where I'm at. You're going to regain some weight if you break it with a ketogenic diet. You're going to regain shit tons of it very quickly and overshoot the weight you started at least in the beginning, when you break it with the standard American diet. However, both can be corrected for over time, provided you feed yourself properly. And I do believe that while my weight has jumped up, that a lot of that weight gain is transient, and it will continue to fall as my body realizes we're back to the normal thing I've been doing all this time, which is ADF, with ad libitum eating for 36 hours max in between. And my body has become accustomed to that, to the point where I don't get hungry except for every other day, which is amazing that that happened. And I'm very happy with that result. It's important to let your body know, okay, that was just a little famine. We're good. And if you do that, your metabolism will return if you are fat adapted. Will not happen if you are standard American diet. Sorry to say, that is one of the reasons why I integrated the ketogenic diet in with my intermittent fasting to begin with, is for the apostat, for the normalizing of my hunger hormones, for everything working properly, for my brain being sensitive to leptin and insulin. And for my organs to be insulin sensitive, as they often are when you break a longer fast. Your insulin does its job better. It gets the energy you take in to where it has to go. Bottom line, should you do a long fast? There are many other health benefits to a long fast, many healing processes, autophagy, and so on and so forth that can assist. I do believe it can help combat cancer growth. I do believe that it can clean you out of some of the fats that are hanging around in unhealthy places, and it can move the needle in health-wise. Maybe not on the scale as much, because like I said, you do regain most of it back. Not all of it. You might move the needle a little bit. Might be half a pound you move the needle, but that's a half a pound. And it might take you a while. And a lot of people are so impatient, they can't fucking put up with that. God damn it, I want to hit my goal so I could stop this shit. Well, that's the wrong way to think. You got to think in terms of how long you're going to keep going with this. And the answer to that should be, I'm going to do this the rest of my life. And you know what? I'm going to do this the rest of my life. I'm convinced this is the healthiest version of me there is. If I can get a little healthier, that's great. If not, I came this far, I'm happy, and I'll be happy. There might be a time where I'm just sick of trying to move the needle, and maybe I'll only do an occasional long fast, and maybe eat one meal a day the rest of my life. Shift to a maintenance protocol, and that's going to be my maintenance protocol, OMAD. 4-hour eating window style, pretty much. For 4 hours a day, I'll eat, and then the rest, coffee, maybe even put fat in my coffee in the morning. But that will be my maintenance plan, because I know doing that, my weight doesn't go up. It doesn't creep up. It stays in the same pattern. And my metabolism boosts because of it. And that's another thing that is supposed to happen with a ketogenic diet, is to a point, if you overeat, your metabolism should ramp up appropriately. There is a ceiling on that, so don't go nuts. However, if you accidentally take in a few hundred more calories during your fat adaptation, you will notice an increase in body heat, an increase in energy. You'll feel warm and sweaty in some places, which other people are saying are not that hot. I've noticed it in myself. You'll be more apt to want to go do things and have more energy to get out of the house and that kind of stuff. These are all little signs that your metabolism's going the other way. And we want that. We want that to happen. But we have to our body has to know that we are taking in enough energy for that metabolism to rise. It's just how it is. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Many people want to think that fasting is the end-all, be-all, and it is not. It is a tool, and once you know how to use that tool properly, it is a powerful tool. A tool that I've used for 2.5 years now, and I'm very happy with it and what it does for me. But I also have to acknowledge the shortcomings, and the shortcomings of longer fasts, longer than 72 hours. We can get into 72-hour fasts and their shortcomings another time. But the shortcomings are a reduction in metabolism. Your body is recognizing that your fat is being burned at an alarming rate and that you are not taking in energy. And because your body recognizes that, it will slow shit down eventually. Not initially, but eventually, during a longer fast, you will notice a drop in metabolism. Should you break the fast during that? That's up to you. You just got to keep in mind that at the point you know your metabolism's dropping, there is going to be subsequent weight gain when you break the fast. Not just from food and water weight, though that's more prevalent. There might be a slight gain in fat because your appetite and, everything will go up and your body tries to bounce back. If you're on the standard American diet, you're going to bounce way back. If you're on a ketogenic diet, you may not even bounce all the way back to where you started, and that remains to be seen. I will let you know in the week or so how that works out. If I did move the needle completely, because it's too soon for me to tell you that. I do know I'm still lower weight than when I started the fast. And this is a fully fed weight. I did eat my full eating window prior to this current weight. Gained a 1/4 inch around the belly too, so that tells me I'm holding on to water, I'm holding on to some food weight. We'll see as ADF and keto continue where that leaves me at. So, that's my spiel for today, is, the fine print of doing slightly long fasts. Now, I have yet to do 7 days. I have yet to do 10 days. I have yet to do 14. And I definitely have yet to do 30. Will I do them at some point? Maybe. I would probably even ramp up my metabolism by overeating prior to one of those fasts to make sure, damn sure, I have enough fat on board. Question is, would I be able to do it ketogenically? Or will my metabolism just compensate by giving me more energy and higher metabolism? Your body can shift its basal metabolic rate, in some people up to 400 or 500 calories. In most people, probably around 300 calories in either direction. Once you're fat adapted, your body is very good at revving things down when it thinks you're in a deficit and ramping things up when it thinks there's a surplus. We've been fucking that up with our sugary filled fucking processed chemical fucking foods made with fucking vegetable oils that didn't exist back in our hunter-gatherer days, and somehow saying that those gotta be healthier than something we ate for millions of fucking years because, those motherfuckers didn't know shit. We know everything now, and you should eat this way, and by the way, buy this food from us. And then go into the fucking healthcare industry and, pay them to take care of your fucked up health because we fucking are killing you with this food. Sorry. Got a little triggered. My bad. But remember, I'm not an expert. I'm just a motherfucking asshole. This video also brought to you by my patrons on Patreon. Links in the description. I have a daily blog there. Content's going to be a little light this week because I am traveling. I am going to St. Lucia for a photography gig. I've got a client that's taken me down there for a yoga retreat / massage retreat. My buddy's going too, so that's how I got in on it. And I've done a lot of photo work for this particular yoga client. So I'm down there to take pictures and work. I will also be filming plenty of videos, topical and adventure videos while I'm there. And then I will have probably a whole fuck ton of editing and photo editing when I get back. So content's going to be a little light. I will try and post some shit while I'm there. I do not know the internet situation or if the Wi-Fi is going to suck or what. I won't have data down there, I don't think. So, content, please be patient. I will be making content, but you might not get to see it for a week or two. Plus, I got the Disney trip vacation that's coming up, which I will also film and vlog about during and try and post during. And I shouldn't have a problem with that because it's in Florida. But going to the Caribbean, This will be my first time swimming in the fucking ocean, too. I've never swam in the fucking ocean in my life. So that'll be interesting. Just trying new shit and shit. Gonna stay keto and ADF while I am there, hopefully. It depends on the situation. I do, want to take advantage of it, the fact that I haven't been there before. It'll be interesting on what keto is like in another country, especially a resort situation. I'll keep you posted on how that goes. So if you have some videos you missed or you haven't caught up, this will probably be the week to do it, as the content's going to be a little lighter. I won't be going live this week because I just don't have the time. In fact, when I get done with this video, I have to help with a film project that I signed up for. Sometimes I spread myself a little thin. So just keep that in mind. Please like and subscribe for more motherfucking videos. And I'll make more motherfucking videos. Or check me out on Patreon, and I'll make more motherfucking videos. And shit. We'll put out a video today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. I do have a topic that I'm going to talk about tomorrow. That's kind of got me triggered a little, but we'll get into that tomorrow. And shit. Just enjoy this today. Have a nice motherfucking day. And shit.